of Song Exploder because I have my piano here and I could ask you questions all day. I'm really curious about the songwriting process amongst you guys as a collective, because I'm in awe of the songs you write and the way in which you flex different muscles at different songs. Like you listen to Jeremy or you listen to Elderly Woman Behind the Counter in a Small Town, you go, these guys could write musicals if they wanted to. Your storytelling is so incredible and so evocative. And then there are also the other songs where the imagery you're painting with the songs are so specific that they feel really personal. I'm thinking of Alive, I'm thinking of Breathe. And so I guess I just, full stop, like where's the song start for you guys? We can point to one song and who kicks the ball down the field first, and do you guys all kind of write it together or do you go off to your separate corners? I'm like a one-man show here, so I'm really curious how you guys work together and keep working together.
Well, maybe I can just start the answer and then because I'm curious what the other fellows will say too, but you know, even after all this time, I think there's very few songs that we've done that were done in a similar way, or that came together the same as that one and that one. They all have these different facets, and they're almost like, you know, kids in a way that they come from the same parents, but the DNA is different, or the genetic code is different. And some of those songs definitely have some mutated genes, you know, but it's all been different. I think what's fascinating to me to look back, and because we recently had a kind of an anniversary, we texted each other that day. That was nice. There was no big hang because of this year, but I really started to think about how important those first songs were, not as far as, you know, that people heard them or whatever, but just that we were able to write these songs without really even, you know, knowing each other. You know, we really didn't know each other, but we were all coming from like a certain place, you know, not exact, but there was, all of us had something going on, you know, and some struggles or some things that we were trying to, and then the when we came together, it was kind of, I just kind of amazed still by you know, how fortunate we were to find each other. So, you know, I think there's a lot of demos that get played, and everyone records really well on their own as well. So who wants to jump in next and talk about the process?
You want to pick a song? I'll pick a song. You tell me who started it. Don't call me daughter, not fit to. The whole song's in G and E minor.
Close down.
That would be Genius Award runner-up Stone Gossett.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for playing that. That's nice. And I think, Jeff, there's more than three chords. There's more than three notes. That's for sure. I know there's two chords, three notes. Well, you know, I think the main thing is that we kind of, as a band, we really started as a band, and it's just kind of built into what we anticipated of everybody sort of pitching in. And so that was just our plan, and we kind of stuck to it. And it's a imperfect and sort of, you never know what's going to happen. I always equate it to like a Ouija board, you know, it's sort of like everyone's sort of, you know, move it, you know, somebody's pushing too hard, you know, somebody's pushing, but you don't know who it is, or, you know, but I think it's just that we set out to write songs together, and we're still doing it. And it's an amazing process to share this band with, you know, 5 people that know how to write, and for Ed to kind of be able to kind of look at all of our little facets and take this sort of thing and put it all together. And so it's a messy process, but it still works. And I think because there's so much DNA being mixed around, that we do get these sort of unique looking children. They have their own characteristics. So it's still fun. It's still so exciting to do it. And we're as hungry as we ever were. We're always sending Ed our demos. We're secretly, what about this one? You're going to love this, I know.
Well, it sounds like, Eddie, you're kind of editing and combining and coalescing in a way. Do you guys collaborate on lyrics as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, Ed sings other folks' lyrics. I mean, he's been amazing in terms of his really like digging down into your demo and pulling out kind of what's kind of you about it and really trying to kind of amplify that. So it's pretty cool.
Then I'll actually, when I sing a Stone song, I'll actually do my best to actually sound like Stone, because that's
cool.
kind of how it was on the demo, and it has this feel. Jeff's voice is it's got its own exact character. I usually kind of end up singing his lyrics that are always deep as Stone's, but I just kind of do my own version of his. But Stone, it's got a little bit of a my sciatic nerve. There's a little bit of a thing. Oh,
I don't ever decide on the note I'm going to sing.
Willie Nelson.
So I'm always sort of I'm moving around it.
Crazy for feeling. It's a little
Willie,
little Neil.
I think sometimes our best songs really are the ones where, everyone's kind of just bringing in a part, you know what I mean? Like where it's like we got an hour to get together and write a song, and somebody has a riff and you don't know what the second part is. And we play it for a second and somebody stumbles into another chord, and that's it. You're done. Like maybe there's a bridge and but most of the time it's simple, energy in the room, just kind of animating us, and we're just hammering on our collective instruments.
Well, I'm going to jump in right now, and I don't want to risk being a hated person on the internet, because as a fan, I know that people are watching and I want to hear these stories, but I need to pivot things over to activism.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're here for. And knowing that you've used your art and those lyrics that you've come up with and that feel, and you as well, Lynn, you've used your art for your activism. So what I want to ask you is, do you ever have a time when your fans disagree with your activism? Have you ever run into people that say, well, we love what you do, but we don't like what you've said right now? How does that make you feel, and does that make you change your message?
Well, yeah, I was talking to the band a little before we all signed on, and I think if you get to the place where I truly believe that the same pit in your stomach that happens when you want to write something, create something, is the same pit in your stomach that you're trying to answer when you speak up on behalf of a cause, or you donate your time or your energy to something you believe in. It's something that's missing in the world that you want to set right or you want to create. And so your primary responsibility as an artist and as an activist is to answer the call of the thing that won't leave you alone, whether that is a musical impulse or an artistic impulse, or something in the world that you think that's not right, or you think, I can be of service here. I can help in this particular case. And so I've always just tried to listen to that in my gut when it comes to the activism and the things that I think I can uniquely put my shoulder into. And whether that's, when Hurricane Maria happened, it was just sort of all hands on deck. Those are our families, and we got to go. And again, in that particular case, my impulse was, I'm going to write a song and I'm going to call in every favor, and we're all going to just raise as much money as we can with the song that I'm about to write. Like, let's go. And I started writing almost like praying as Hurricane Maria was making landfall, because we saw very quickly how devastating it was going to be. And I couldn't hear from anyone. There was no cell service on the island. We didn't know if our families were okay. And so I just started writing because I didn't know what else to do. And so, you know, when folks disagree with that, and there will always be people who disagree with your art, disagree with your politics, disagree with the filter you put on the picture you posted on Instagram. But your responsibility is not to that. Your responsibility is that pit in your stomach. And I feel like as long as you are addressing that the best way you know how, you can sleep at night. And to me, it's the same source. It's answering the call that comes from inside you.